You'll see. The question, it's going to be a whole thing. It'll be a fuck you or well, you're going to have to confess.
You're not wrong, but. You are things that I go through. This is in the eyes.
Cupid.
Oh no, I set it off.
You have people ready to go or no? Do you have people to minister to yet? Almost. Just I want to know we're ready. Oh.
I thought that I heard you. I thought that I heard you sing. Every whisper, every waking hour, I see in my confession.
Shut that up. Shut that sound up, whoever's has it. It's a violation. You should be able to see it.
Set it up. Consider this. Consider this. Consider this.
Wow, here we are. Everybody, welcome. This is AZD, IMC Nation, ministering and counseling for the next 2 hours. Men and women, please don't have any children around, okay? That's for their protection. That's for their protection. They're too young to understand any of this, and you're here to protect your children. So do not have them anywhere about this, okay? You can ask anything, everybody. Welcome. This is that, and we're going to go until 12 o'clock, and there was an announcement that was forgotten. So let's start. What do we got? Oh, yes, that was what needs to be said. Everything that I will be speaking from, every counseling and ministering that this person will do for the next 2 hours is going to be referenced in the Holy Bible, New Testament. I will not give any answer that veers off of any of this. Okay? This is 2 hours of counseling and ministering using Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit, and God to help men and women free their souls from the devils and demons that are running their lives. All of you online, 100% of you I'm speaking about, 100% of you. Okay? That's what I'm doing. I'm here, as any man of God is, to be challenged by anybody who disagrees. I'm here to be ridiculed and crucified in any way you like. Okay? But if all that I sit for is true, any stones cast this way shall turn into fire and land where they come from. That's what I claim. And I'll stand by it. Here we go. Jesus. Jesus' spirit is here. Here, the Holy Spirit is here. There's somebody needing healing. There's an evil bitch online taking the form of all of them. All right, here we go. For real, no, let's get started. All right, so you don't have to agree. You're encouraged to argue. You're encouraged to argue, disagree. You're encouraged to disagree. You're encouraged to find fault and not agree. I'm encouraging you. I'm putting you in courage about this because you're going to get nervous doing that. You get what I'm saying? You're going to go, that is encouraged to come out. Okay? Anything I say that is just like, no, fuck that. You're encouraged to speak. I promise you, I give you my word, which is the word, which I will not hold it against you. I swear on everything that you should never swear on. Because your word is the truth, right? But for you, I have to swear because you don't know what truth is yet. So I swear on my life, mom, dad, everybody, dogs and pigs and cats, okay, that I'm telling the truth. Because you have to swear for people because they lie. That's why you have to go in court and you swear to tell the truth. Why would I have to swear to tell the truth? What is this? If I have to swear to tell the truth for you to believe me, don't believe that I swear. This means nothing. If you take this over that, we both know we're both liars. Put the fucking book away and speak, because the book, he said, now we're quoting, the word is in your heart. That's what we know. And that's what that means, right? Yeah, beautiful, right? Yeah, I got some good brothers here today. Let's go. All right, here we go. First person online. Let's go. Here we go. As if we stopped. This activity has not stopped through the night. Man, wait till you experience it. Wait till you experience sleep. Remember how many times I've said this? You are gonna trip out. The trippiest part of the experience of this body so far, with all the miracles that you're witnessing around me, is sleep right now. With all the mind blowing that you see, this mind get blown with yours, right? Sleep is something that I have no words for right now. What's happening? There are no aliens coming. Nothing like that is happening. There are no words, but you will talk to me about it. Hey, I swear it. Okay, let's go. Oh, Octavio, thanks.
Yo, what's up,
Octavio.
guys? Am I first in line?
Hey, yeah, who's this?
It's Johnny Eugene, brother. What's up?
Bro, you're buff and good looking. You don't want to be seen? Ladies, check him out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Could you guys see me?
No.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why it's not in there. Maybe because I just got the Zoom app. You can't see me
Okay,
at all, guys?
I could hear you. There you are.
Okay.
What's up?
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
no.
Johnny.
Just,
Johnny.
Yogi
Johnny.
Chris this whole time invited me on.
Hey, Johnny, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
Arash wanted to call you this morning and
Yeah?
tell you what I'm going to tell you right now.
No way.
2 bottles of Unchained, please. Just send me the price.
Got you. I got you,
Okay.
brother. Unchained got your back for
I was
sure.
going to call him. I was going to call him this morning, but I knew it was a thought.
Yeah, the pills, right? The Unchained pills?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And this is for others to hear about the pills.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're gonna need those for the girls for sure.
This is all to be
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
So what's up, bro?
No, man, lately I've been watching the replays because you guys are down there in Vegas. So over here it's like my time to game around 9 p.m. You guys start around 9 p.m. my time. So I've been watching the replays, and the last 5 or 6 videos, you definitely have brought it to another level. You've always kind of preached this type of stuff, always.
You're
like
right.
ever since
You're right.
college.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I've never said anything else, but my words were twisted by the demons in me to give it other meaning. The words have always been here. I've always said this. You're absolutely right, bro. And I want you to witness that yourself, that I've always said it, but a different flavor. And now the flavor that you're perceiving is so pure and it can't be denied. That's Arash Dibazar without the darkness in him. That's why the Bible, that's why Jesus, that's why he says he saves your soul. You're looking at a man whose soul is free of woman. My soul is free of women, your soul is suffering for women. And that's what this is all about. So yeah, you're right. Good observation. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean this, your teachings in general for the last few years have really helped my game, business, lifestyle, daily routine. A lot of the beast stuff we talk about, like the daily routine, has really helped. But lately, even some of the other guys, they've been talking to you about, like, sometimes they'll get emotional with business or with the girl, and you teaching us to be not emotional and have no emotional attachment to the girl really helps. I'm going to give you an example. Sometimes like in the past few years, I've dated a lot of girls who maybe weren't that hot, but like good enough to keep them around. So when I meet a girl who's about a 9 or a 10 or, like a 9, like a super hot chick,
Yeah.
I'll do a good job, not being too emotionally attached. But sometimes, you love women so much, you love them around, maybe after sex or whatever, you'll be like I'll be like, I won't control what I say, and I might make them seem like I'm too interested in them.
That's exactly why
And
they
I,
have.
I, I believe what you've taught me is to be, don't show too much interest in the beginning. And it's hard to do that for the average man. But as we talked about it, we got to really be able to have less attachment to the outcome and be more in the present. So maybe we could talk about that a little bit before we go to another question and just kind of see
Yeah.
where it goes, because it's pretty
Yeah.
intense what we've been talking about lately.
It's right. It's everything you're saying is so right, because you see, Arash Dibazar taught you, right, to not respond in an emotional manner, right? That's a fact. We know we had measured that up until, ready? What the words I'm about to say are exact. They mean exactly what they say. Okay. We measured that up until Arash Dibazar's death. That was the extent of game. He was a master of game. Nobody could touch him. He was like a god, but the wrong god. Okay. Now, currently sitting here right now, I have zero attachment to any woman, including Electra and my mother. Right? The woman I've known the longest, I just named. Sister never felt attached to her anyway. She's straight came out of hell. but anyway, so Johnny, I sit here with no attachment for as an experience that doesn't come up. And this is why suddenly I could sit here and tell you it's Jesus Christ. It just sounds insane and stupid, and I have too much to lose. Well, I have nothing to lose, but that guy, Arash Dibazar, would have a lot to lose, and he's dead. And this is the Holy Spirit, and you have it in you. And you right now, every time you have sex with her, you become her woman right now. You don't know that because, well, I'm not want to get too deep into that at the moment, okay? But these guys know, come around, right? There's levels of stuff right now. But
Yeah,
the
no,
fact,
I get
the
it.
fact
Yeah,
of the matter, you get what I'm saying. The fact of the matter is, the moment you have sex with her, you become a woman. Now, sex is the final act where she steals your soul, just so you know. You're hers at that moment. If you don't know how to be a man, and nobody knows yet, I'm here to show you. Look, when you have sex with her, it's over for the man, completely. So he's under the delusion that until he has sex with her, she's not his. It's the opposite, actually. In hell, everything's upside down. In hell, the moment you or any other man here would have had sex with her or still has sex with her, she owns you, right? And like you said, because you're always speaking truth, because there's only God and there's only truth, but it's twisted. And that's why he's called the deceiver, right? Because you actually are saying it every time. And the men here, they're very chained. These are the apostles, right? Well, you want to see game? Just come around and watch these guys game. Game, no one's better than them. These guys are better than any pickup artist coach on the planet right now at game. But at getting women, they are fucking terrible. Okay? Because I go out with them and I don't game at all. Now, the stories, just talk to whoever and ask whoever talked to you, say, what did you observe last night? And every time you talk about Arash Dibazar, just ask within 24 hours. You don't want any stories of one time 7 years ago. Miracles are a daily occurrence when you're here. Okay? We've already had, have we had miracles here? Yes or no this morning?
Yes.
They're either lying or miracle means, some cool thing that happened, but I mean it in the sense of this book. I'm speaking strictly from this book. That's our experience right now, brother. And this is the experience every man seeks, because every man seeks to be with his father, which is really God. Now, at this moment, when you have sex with her, she steals your soul. So now let me show you where sex actually starts. She fully takes your soul when you have sex with her. But here's the thing. Ready? The moment that your eyes land on her, if sex is in the heart, she feels it. No matter what you say. No matter what you say, she knows. She knows every time you say, would you like to come over? No man ever invited a woman over if he didn't want to have sex with her. Is that true, guys?
Yeah.
Ladies, listen online. No man ever, not once, ever. Not like never in the history of your life, ladies, these men are going to testify right now. No man ever texted you to come over for anything besides he had a whole plot to fuck you. And you knew it, and that's why you're the devil, because you knew it too, and you justified it. Justification is for the devil, right? Because the truth, you don't justify it. So here's the thing. The moment you look at her, the same spirit of lust that you feel when you look at her, she's made of that. A woman is made of lust, not love. She gets to experience love through a real man, but a man filled with lust is filled with hatred, just like she is, right? Women hate men. They despise men. Did you know that? Have you observed that for yourself? Have you?
Yeah, I mean, like lots of times when you realize like the way that things went down, maybe like after a breakup, like you think that she would still love you, but just she hates you. You know,
She hates you on a breakup, and it surprises you as a man, doesn't it?
yeah, it's like they can't love you anymore. It's like you still remember the good times
No,
with
but
them.
listen to this. Hold on. It's not that they can't love you anymore. See, that's where Satan took all the word. Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He hates and despises you when you break up, and that's surprising at the coldness she has, right?
Yeah.
You can't even muster up that coldness, right?
Yeah. No,
All
for
right.
sure.
All right, exactly. Ladies, just know that this is the truth for everybody here, okay? So she is the daughter of Eve. Remember what Eve did to Adam? Right? And that's why we're in hell? Okay, that's what we got off this book. So her soul has been described in other symbols of enlightened cultures. That's why they call everything a movement a cult, because the word is culture, and a culture is beautiful, but a cult is not. But the word cult doesn't exist without culture. It would make no sense, because they're the same exact word, actually, okay? So they say, oh, you're part of a cult. So first, the other night, this girl realizes that I know God because she's wearing a Christian cross, but she's the devil sitting on God's lap. And it gets very clear at some point. And then she says, what was the point I was making right here? Yeah. Cool. It'll come if it needs to, okay? It'll come back to it.
Yeah.
At the right. Yeah, no, it's fine. We don't want to find it in our thoughts. We don't want to find it in our thoughts. If I go in my thoughts, that's the devil distracting the message. But if I just go forward, that piece will reveal itself at the right moment. It'll come again, right? That's how the devil works, right? You as a man don't want to think. You don't want to emote. You want to be spontaneous and natural. You don't want to let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. That's from the Bible, New Testament. That's what that means. You and I know as a fighter, as a man, as anything, right, that we don't want our emotions tracked, right? We want to be Nightcrawler, right? That's how a man moves. He moves with God and doesn't have any plans, no agendas, right? He just arrives to do his work every day, wherever that is at that time, and he does it perfectly with nothing else in his mind, right? But he always has lust in his mind. So there's not one male physical trainer in a gym who's not lusting after every woman that he signs up. Is this true? Is it true in your experience?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I was a trainer at the gym, and I ended up, getting with some of my clients. It was just like a natural thing. It was just like a natural thing.
Hold on, but all of them,
All the hot ones, all the good looking,
even the ugly ones, when you looked at them, lust in the heart was activated. Even the fat, fucking roly-poly, nasty-looking bitch, either her tits, nipples, or that tight yoga pants when she looks completely out of shape, your mind will make her pretty. When you're thirsty or hungry, and even a roach on the ground, you'll eat it to survive. The male heart is filled with lust because you're in hell. Hell is not fire. Hell is temptation, not fire.
Yeah.
If hell was fire, people will get out of it. That's what this ministry is. The first step is for me to speak in front of the whole world and show them that every man is in hell, no matter what, right? Every man.
Yeah.
And you'll see it just come on every day. We'll do every day, right? So we know that. So we know that every trainer has wanted in his heart to sexually touch his client. Now, this is for all the men whose wives and girlfriends have a male trainer.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also like if my girl introduces me to her hot friends, and she'll tell me something like, "Oh, you're not gonna try to fuck my friends, right?" And it's
So
like
she knows what's in your heart.
she
You know
knows.
what? You know what Arash Dibazar will hear? She's gonna want to fuck you. I already know. Or she told me she wants to fuck you. Or it's reverse.
Yeah,
She's saying to you, right? You probably then she knows that your heart is filled with lust and that you actually don't love her, because when you lust after somebody, you don't love them, right? And so the problem that you're having by controlling your emotions is women try to control their emotions. They're always controlling their emotions. You don't know how fucked up every woman on that screen is.
yeah,
They are on the verge of killing you themselves and everybody else. Okay? Just you don't have to believe me because there's nothing to believe, but you just come around. So
yeah,
every woman you've ever come in contact with has been trying to control herself, and that's what it looks like. That's what she's filled with tension, right?
yeah,
Now,
and
a man doesn't do that.
no,
Right, sitting down in this body, I'm not controlling anything of these emotions. It's here to be triggered by anybody. Yes. Oh, microphone. So this is the freedom that now I have. This is the freedom that these men are tasting. Mike Tyson, Arash Dibazar would always tell the story, okay? Everything he ever said was exactly what needed to be said so that we can talk today. So you know these stories. You've all been around. He used to say, you know what? Mike Tyson said, they asked him, what do you do when you face the opponent? He said, I'm so scared. I'm terrified. Mike Tyson, when he was a world champion, he admits, I was terrified. And any man that says he's not afraid is lying, he said. Mike Tyson, the undefeatable Mike Tyson, the god of war was Mike Tyson when he was there. You want to see what Mars looks like? At 20 years old or whatever the fuck he was, 18, he walks through grown-ass men with 50 fights or whatever. He walks through them the way God would, he just demon of destruction. And then you see him when he eats a man's ear off and says, sorry. That's a demon of destruction, right? It is. You see it.
yeah,
Now, check this out. But that's not the point. The point is that demon was scared shitless and he didn't know it. Remember that the toughest fighters are the most fearful people in the world. That's what they have to beat everybody up. That's number one. Two, Mike Tyson would say, when I look at the opponent in front of me, there's one thing I know. Ready? His words. Listen how accurate. Are you all ready for this? He would say, I'm never going back to the hell that I came from. I'd rather die right now than to go back to that hell. You remember those words? How many times I've repeated them as Arash Dibazar? Now listen to what they actually mean. My brother, when I face any emotion about or lust about the woman, I know one thing. I'm never going back to the hell you're in, no matter what. There's two choices in this. That demon will get knocked out in front of me. I will go through it, whatever I go through, without allowing the emotion to release itself in a voice or a touch or a text. You are gonna now, either you're gonna kill me as Mike Tyson or you're gonna die. But I'm here to face you. I'm not running. I came to see the lust. I showed up to the strip club not to get pussy. I showed up to the strip club to get rid of the pussy in me. Now let's start again. Here we are. Emotion. To control it would be Mike Tyson, and one day you're going to bite her ear off or drive off a cliff or throw something out of control of the wall or break something or hurt someone in an accident, which could be yourself. You're on the verge when you're controlling your emotions. And the stronger you get, the more dangerous you are to control your emotions. Okay? Control of emotions is actually not possible, and every human being should here on earth. That if anybody ever told you to control your emotions, it came from the devil, because it's not a possibility. No human being has ever been able to do it. And the ones that did ended up killing people later. Amen. That's an amen. That's when amen comes up naturally. Not when the priest says, amen. You get when they do that? That's drawing energy. Amen. Amen. Let me hear you say amen. Amen. Let me hear you say, Lord. How about you shut the fuck up? You fucking demon, shut the fuck up and stop having me chant out in mantras some shit. God knows what's in my heart and in my mind. How about this church becomes quiet for a second because we're in a place of God? Shut the fucking orchestra. Get that whore off the stage who's supposedly praising God in her voice, and she's not. She's more worried about her voice and hair than God. Get that fucking prostitute off stage, or put Beyonce there in the proper clothes when I come to church. Because if it's going to be a whore, let it be that whore, not that fat, ugly, fat bitch. Try, in her mind, she's Beyonce. And Beyonce in her mind is that church girl. Beyonce is doing it for God, justifies her evil. And that bitch is Beyonce because God's given her a chance to be a star. And they're both being fucking lied to. And they're both possessed. And every woman you've been with is possessed by that soul. And that has possessed your soul. And this soul is free of that. That's why it's salvation of the soul, not of flesh. You have to die of the flesh, which is lust, he did, and be reborn of the spirit, just like this guy did. Exactly that. So the answer to your question is, like I said, in the book, the answer is God. And the difference between this man and that man is this man now knows there's a God. I know there's a God more than I know that I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I can doubt this moment more than I know there's a God. That, when you know, you know. And at that moment, you no longer are born of the flesh.
Yeah.
Nothing in you is the same. And then you can see with real eyes. So you start realizing everything. You have cognitions. These words then start making sense. You start having revelations. You start having miracles in your life, and you start fucking with magic. Magic is in admitting there's no God. If there's a God, what are you magicking for? What do you know about all this shit? You look up today, just go out right now, look at the flowers and whatever, and go, yeah, this all happened by accident. That's the devil. There's no accident here, bro. You and I are not an accident. This moment is not an accident. It's all God or it's all evil. Now, God is perfection, and you as a man are his son, and you're actually not supposed to sin, but you don't know what sin is. But in there it says, where they said to you, don't covet your neighbor's wife, I tell you, it's what you hold in your heart that sins. Now, you and I as men know how much control we can exert over our dick. Some forever, okay? But we know what's in our heart. The sin is in the heart, right? The sin is in the heart. This has to clear out because that sin comes from Eve. And right now, your life is committed to worshiping the woman. And so she's become your God. At the end of every thought, she is. Even when she looks like a hideous, literally looks like a hideous gremlin, you still lust for her. I know that. I've had that lust in me because it's not you and I. That's the devil. Temptation, right? So the answer is don't control your emotions, but become aware of what they are and everything else that this man says and this ministry, right? That's the answer.
Yeah.
Any further be the devil trying to explain that to you. That's the answer for it. It's not
Yeah,
today.
so,
You have to
I
go
was
through
going to
hell.
ask you that. Yeah, so it's not
You have
about
to go,
controlling your
listen,
emotions.
you have to go through what Jesus went through. That's why I want everybody to read the New Testament so they know what I'm saying. You have to go through what Jesus went through as if you're walking through, and then they say that, as if you do this and they do that, as if you have no food, and then one bread becomes 1,000. You have to go broke, and money has to pour in as it has here. We've already done it. Every part of that story has to play out, brother. And if it does, you'll be free. And if not, you'll keep watching this man continue to do this for as long as it is. And you'll know this is the truth and this is the way. And you'll return at the right time.
Yeah.
Amen. Can I get amen? What do you think about
Yeah,
that, man?
that makes a lot of sense, man. It's not about controlling your emotions. It's about being aware of what they are and just going through. Let them just go through. Yeah.
Well, yes, easier said than done. Those are words.
Yeah.
The devil hides in words. And those words, like, for example, yeah, I'm in hell is a word. But mark
Yeah.
words, brother. Mark these words. One day you and I will talk, and I'll say, Johnny, this is hell now. You haven't experienced hell yet. When you know you're in it, you're like Mike Tyson, you don't want to go back, bro. You're living in hell right now, and it sucks to be having so much anxiety and so much clutter in the head and heart and move around and just every night just fucking like you're possessed. You feel possessed. She's in the end of every thought, either her or money, which are the same thing, right? Or a career, which is the same thing, or a physical a physique, same thing. You know, all
Yeah.
that. Anything of the flesh, you're of the spirit. Man is of spirit, she's of flesh. So she finds through the man spirit. And that's the relationship supposed to be. Then she's under you. There's no
Yeah.
woman. Some of my girlfriends are on right now. They're under me. They obey me, but I obey God. So
Yeah.
if I'm fine, if I'm wrong, you're not gonna correct me because I'm not listening to her. I don't listen to her. The fuck does she know? She doesn't know shit. She doesn't even know anything. She doesn't know what she wants to eat next. Try that. Okay?
Yeah.
She knows she has to eat in a minute, and she still doesn't know it. And as she's eating it, she's doubting it. As the woman is eating, she's doubting the food and considering the other food. As she's wearing the dress, she's thinking about the other dress. She cannot be here. That's why she suffers. Isn't that amazing? Hold on, let me answer this. Okay. All right, Johnny.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man, that makes a lot of sense. Before we get to another person, could we talk about not only how this could relate to a woman, but how it could relate to our business or our
yeah,
sales or helping
yeah.
others?
It's everything because AZD is here as a man that you've measured for a while, right? And
Yeah.
right now, the money is so abundant in his hand that he literally doesn't think about it. Like that's freedom from money. So that's the experience of money, right? And his business is run on no schedule, and only people get paid when they make money. And everybody that works for him is about to make more money than they have in the last year. And I give you my word, because it's already happened and it's going to keep happening again this week, right? So that's money, that's women. Physique, I haven't been to the gym at all in about how long? How long would you say last time we went to the gym? We go together. I haven't hit the gym in 2 months, just so you know. How many people have seen me do push-ups all day and shit? Nah. Okay, so yeah, I don't have. But here's the thing. I was at the strip club last night, and we were talking about how bodybuilders are actually women. I was talking to a very pretty girl, right? Super little, cute little demon. I was telling her bodybuilders are women and fighters are women because what's in their heart. And she was understanding it very clearly. Then I pointed to a few of the guys. I said, that man has more muscle than me. That man's taller than me. That man has bigger shoulders than me. I was pointing out people, right? That man has barely any body fat. And I said to her, how much you want to bet? If him and I, any man in here right now would I said, take a fucking Chippendale guy, bring him here. How much you want to bet? If I walked around naked in here and any other man walks around naked in here, at the end, all the women would say that I look better than them. And I know that to be true because there's a natural body a man is supposed to have, right? He doesn't get boob jobs and ass BBLs. He just gets bigger muscle. But it's the same, isn't it the same spirit? So now, when anything that takes your mind off of spirit is a girl. And that's why she's fascinated by a man who only sees spirit. Now, if you want to know how I go and don't game, but I slaughter everybody, and until they can reach this level, they know they're not at that level, because that's why Arash Dibazar always said, this is the field that I'm going to test men. They break here. Remember that? Now you see the words. Now you can see how real that shit is. Because now you can see the demons in the man, even if he tries to hide it. Even if he's getting her and she's like grinding his face, you go, bitch. You can't hide there, motherfucker. We'll take any man to a strip club. And we will know within 2 minutes when she talks to him, it'll be so clear that he's a bitch. But here's the thing he doesn't know. She knows that too. She knows what we know. It's her essence is in him, and she knows how to control that. So she's very sneaky, more sneaky than you will ever know. If there was a devil and he was good enough to convince God's children to turn away from God, that would be a really good deceiver. If God was your father, and in my case, he is. Hassan Dibazar is not my father. If God was your father, right? You know the amount of deception and brainwashing you'd have to go through to accept a false, fabricated illusion that's not real? Any job, a career to the end of your life is not real. Alexander the Great, his position was not real. It doesn't last anymore. He's called Alexander the Great. He should be called Alexander the Tiny. He was so insecure, he had to conquer the whole world just to be okay. He's not Alexander the Great. He's Alexander the Mouse. Diogenes the Great, and Alexander knew it. So when he met the homeless dog on the street known as Diogenes, who would crawl on his feet, piss on the street, and grab scraps of food when he threw it at him, said, there's the dog. Diogenes the dog, they called him. The dog. They would throw bones at him, and he would just eat it. And he said, well, dog eats when you throw at him, right? When they tried to sell him as a slave, he walked with them and said, here's a master to any slave who wants to buy him. An emperor bought him, and the emperor had to have him get off the chariot because the queen had her eyes on him. Listen to this. Listen to this. You got it now? What's about to happen? And he was just being natural, sitting there. He didn't even ask to go there. He knew she was looking at him. The emperor looks at him and says, I have everything. Why are you so comfortable like this? Like you don't even care. He says, well, not only that, did you know that your wife has been wanting me this whole time? Now, only Diogenes could say that to a fucking emperor. But he didn't care. He wasn't flesh. If he was flesh, he would have not done that. And he was expounding truth. He walked around with a lantern looking for an honest man one day. I'm doing that right now. He was in the daylight looking for an honest man. Oh, okay. This is too much for us, sir. Give us a second, okay? This is how we know God's real. And this is, you don't even know what's happening here, bro. And that's why they're here. They're supposed to measure this. So it's not just one person's fantasy, because it's not. This is reality, okay? Yeah. Diogenes says, did you know, to the emperor in his chariot after he's bought by the emperor. And the emperor is sitting staring at him, just like his wife. But she's over there. He says, did you also know that your wife has her eyes on me? The emperor looks at him, walks up to the queen, takes his sword out, puts it on her neck. He says, I give you my word in front of people, the people in his chariot. I mean, he's emperor. He doesn't travel alone. If you tell the truth, I'll spare your life. If you lie, I'm going to cut off your head right now. He wasn't fucking around. Any king who knows his queen had an eye somewhere else will cut her head. So he meant it. She knew it. He says, is what this man say, is it true? She hesitates. She says, well, it is true. He looks at Diogenes, he says, stop. He says, stop the cart. He tells Diogenes, get out. He's bought him as a slave. He tells her, get out. Diogenes goes back to the beginning of his story where he was sitting by the lake. And he goes through all that adventure. He goes back to what he was doing, and he doesn't even think about it. Isn't that amazing? He doesn't write a book about it. Other people tell the story. They witness it. That's why other people here tell the story. And no book was written. There was a book written. And I'm here to tell the story. And they're here to tell the story. You see how it goes? Dang, Johnny, somebody else has to come on. Somebody else has to come on.
Yeah,
just come over here.
thank you. I appreciate it, guys.
Boom.
Great stuff.
Hey, send me Unchained for my dick.
Got you.
See ya.
Yeah.
All right.
Ali is next.
Aliou, pass it on.
Yeah.
Peter? Agreed on Peter? Yeah.
Yeah.
You raised his hand, Peter.
What do you guys say? Peter?
Peter.
Peter, that was impossible. Peter! Yeah. Peter.
Arash,
Hey!
how are you, sir?
Well, good. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. I just
Yeah,
want
what's
to I want to give thanks to you, man. I really appreciate you. You've helped me along my journey a lot. You've helped
You're
change my
welcome.
life. And also give thanks to Chris. He's helped guide me on this live.
Do you
And
know that do you know that the word Chris means Christ?
Christ, eh?
Well, that's what the name is actually. But the
Yeah.
devil takes names. So you would like to thank Christ? You're right. And what else?
Yes, 100%. I love to thank Christ, and I do. I
Exactly.
do.
And you know what the beauty of that was? When he said, I'd like to thank Yogi Chris, he didn't take the compliment. I was sitting right here. Right? Did you catch that? But when I said thank Christ, he put a big smile on his face and his heart opened up. That man has a light right now. Did you see that? Well, was that right? Yeah. When he was acknowledged as Chris, it kind of went over his head as another bullshit that he hears every day. But when I said it was Christ, he lit up just like you did and just like I did. And that's the difference. Isn't that amazing?
I'll show you something. Wait. I read it every day.
Right on. Now you have to see it through the right eyes. You're looking at it through the devil's eyes. You know how I know that? Because whatever question you're about to ask is in the book. But I'm a preacher, so that's why I'm here, right? To be able to preach that. The fact that you have the book, all the churches around you, they have more devils than the strip clubs. Churches are strip clubs. It's for demons. They go there and party. Okay.
I don't agree with religion. I'm not a religious person, but I follow Christ, and personally, I dislike all religion.
Yeah, you're a true religious person.
Really?
That's a religious person. You just said it. You said, I'm not a religious person. You are. You and I are truly religious men. They're not. They're godless. So they take the word religion and they go to war with it and do all kinds of crazy shit. And we go, well, I don't like religion. I'm a religious man, but that's all I can say. So just so you know, you are very religious, and that's why you're here, because you're speaking to a religious man, and we're talking about religion and nothing else. And you and I know it's going to solve it. Ha! Let's go.
I don't have any questions to ask you. I would just love to tell you about a little bit of my journey where I'm at now. And also, am I allowed to mention a dream I had?
You're allowed to say everything. This is all live everywhere. Anybody who says anything, if it has to go to the authorities, it goes. Everybody just, you got it? So you could say whatever you want. I could hear anything you want to say. That's the answer. Yes.
Cool. So I'll start with last year in September, where I was having the most hardest time. And
You were having a what? A what?
I was having a very tough time in my life. It was probably the toughest I've ever had. And
Why?
last year, September,
Why? Why would it be so tough? What was happening? What physical attachment of yours was about to be lost or not? You weren't getting it. That it was so hard for you as a man, as a spiritual being, that this tiny little game called life, that you can never win by playing it. What was happening that was so devastating that a man like you, with so much light and intelligence, could use these words? It was a very hard time in my life. Do you remember what was breaking you? You don't have to say it, but do you remember what was breaking you at that moment? When you said that, do you remember what you were thinking?
no, I don't remember.
So think back right now when you were going through a really hard time, right?
Yeah.
Is there something that was happening that comes up? It was a really hard time. It was like the toughest time of your life. Do you remember that?
Well, I was losing everything I ever had, and I was at a big house.
What did you have that you were losing? That's exactly what I said. What did you have that you were losing? What's everything? Give me one name of something you were losing. One. What was it?
All my money. All my money.
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 Right. Right. Stop. What else were you losing?
Then I wasn't strong in faith.
What?
I wasn't strong in faith.
Right. The question is, you were losing money. What else were you losing?
I think that's it. Money.
Wait.
I wasn't getting where I was at.
How much money were you losing that was devastating you at that time?
I lost 50 grand and I had a big house and I had no one to fall back on. And
But you had nothing to fall back on, like
yes,
just in case. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, nothing. I had to force
But
myself
what
to.
about your condition at that time? Were you needing money really bad for something and you didn't have it?
My condition, I was way more emotional.
What?
I was way
What?
more emotional.
Right? Hold on. You're right. But let's stay on my questions because then you'll see something.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have enough money at that time to do pretty much anything that you would do right now? Yes or no?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So what was the hardest part of your life? You had money to do everything you're doing right now, but you didn't have anything to fall back on. Are you saying right now, because I had to stop you because what you said as a man would never be said as a man. You said, I was having a very hard time in my life. And I knew at that moment it was going to be bullshit. Now, you're telling me right now, you have to convince me and every other grown-ass man here that at a time in your life, when you had enough money to do everything you're doing now, you didn't have anything to fall back on. You even had a house, you said, right? You, at that moment, are you saying because of this that you just explained, this was the hardest time of your life? Is that what you're saying? Or did you not look to see why it was so hard? Because this seems so easy, bro. I can't imagine right now you'd have
Yeah.
the hardest time of your life.
I didn't look to see deeper in it. But when it was
It's a little hard to understand. What is it you said again? It's important I understand you.
so yeah, I didn't look as deep. I didn't look as deep as I could. But
No, how
at the
did you
time,
look at it? No, we're still there. How did you look at it? So far, the way you presented that you looked at the hard time was that, but that doesn't sound right. So what was so difficult during that time that you didn't say? Where did you lose your faith? You said, I was not strong in faith. There's your clue. Then you said, I wasn't doing whatever you said. That is speaking about something. What is that thing? What was going on? Where did you lose your faith? Welcome to church. It's called confession, but you don't have to do it.
I don't know.
Look,
No, I was bad. No, I was bad at lust. Yes, and this
you're
is the
what?
demon I've been fighting.
Lost. What do you mean lost?
Lust.
Lost. All right.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
This is the demon I've been fighting since then, and now I have everything I ever wanted, and yeah, here I am now.
So when you say
It's been a
lust
battle.
during the hardest time of your life, what was happening? Well, it wasn't money, it was lust. What does that mean? Was there a girlfriend? Was there not a girlfriend? Was there a wife? Was there, you had no, what is that lust you just said? What was
So,
that?
yes, I was still having the thoughts of lust, and then I came across a girl as well, and
And what? What? Hold on, slow down. And what?
You came across a girl.
Okay, go on. And then?
and emotionally I wasn't there yet. And
What happened? If I come across a girl, I don't have to be emotionally anywhere at the moment. What happened where you weren't emotionally there? What happened with the girl to cause you to say, I wasn't emotionally there, but coming across a girl, I don't need to be emotionally anywhere. I'm trying to find out what this problem was. And now I've asked you a bunch of times. Do you see that?
Actually, I don't think it was the girl. I don't know, right?
That look, because you've never looked. When you look, you see it wasn't you and you were possessed. Because a man never says the words, I was going through a hard time, the hardest time of my life. That is not a proper syntax of God. One who knows God never uses that syntax. Not once did Jesus say, this was the hardest time of my life. So when you say that, it's off code on the book, and I know it's off. So it was lust. You're right, it was lust. Now, you came across a girl, and what happened? Did you say hi to her? Did you fuck her?
No, I was no. It's
What did
something
you
more
do?
than that.
Not what did
It's
you
not marriage.
not do, and you should have done. What did you do
Well,
that
I should have been
violated you?
more sensible. I should have been more sensible with my money, but I had the demon in me.
What did you do? Not you should have been. What did you do that broke you? You had the hardest time of your life because you came across a girl. That's still not the hardest time of your life. It's not the darkest part of your soul yet. hardest time in my life is the darkest moment of my life. The darkest moment of your life would be the most evilest moment of your life, okay? Right now, we've located Eve,
Yeah.
and that's why you're here. I'm about to show you, in your own words, you admit it, the hardest time of your life. Then you went to money, now we're a girl, and now you're dodging. So the question is, how did you act during that time with that woman? What's an embarrassing thing you did that you're like, fuck, I can't believe I said or did that?
No, no, I don't think it was that, Araj. I'm pretty content with women now, and I'm fine with the relationships I have with women.
Not
Um,
now, not now. Back then, at that hard time, you said it was a woman, it was lust.
what
Not now. You're perfect now. Back then, what was it?
I had a dream. I had a big dream, and I moved to that house thinking that dream will become reality. And then everything just went away from me like that in a second, and I had nothing.
You had
When
a
I had
dream. You had a dream about her. You had a dream about life.
oh no, 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 life, like achieving big things, like fancy
What does
cars,
that
big
have to do
houses.
with the lust of this woman? What has nothing to do with it? What
Yeah,
about the lust of this woman that was hurting? What was wrong with it? Why wasn't this lust with this woman turn into a love and she's now watching you talk? What's happening? What happened here that this woman, and you said a woman entered my life. Right.
yeah,
And we all knew it was true at that moment. We're still in that truth. We haven't left that truth. From here, right? What was this relationship between you and this woman?
we lived together.
How do you go from coming across her to living together? You're, Dang, yeah, you see that? That's why you're suffering. That's why you're all suffering. That's why you're all suffering. Because you were evil. But you're not evil. That's why you're here. Because I don't think you came from Eve's ills. You were born of Eve's ills, right? That's why you come out crying like a bitch as a baby.
Yeah.
Why would you have to be squeezed through a fucking lemon when you're the size of a fucking a melon? You shall suffer, and all your children shall suffer and be born of sin. And in order to save themselves, they have to die of the flesh, lust. You got your mom's lust in you. And be born of the spirit of the Father. This is why we're here. This is not Hassan Dibazar or Nasrin Monshi's son. This is the son of the Father. To remind you that you are his brother, as Jesus reminded him that he was his brother, older brother. This is now older bro G talking to you, saying top G, top J. Yeah, right? This is the top J, alpha dog, alpha omega dog. This guy's telling you, look, you don't need to go further in the story, but you know, I know, and everybody watching knows. During that time, you acted like a woman more and more and more, and you started to do
100%.
everything to make her okay, and you're a wreck. And you started to become more and more sneaky and more fucking sneaky. And at some point, the bitch who never liked you, in fact, hated you, suddenly took the rug from under your feet. When that
Yes.
happened, you couldn't fucking believe that that was happening. So your goodness, which wasn't your goodness because it was lust, disguised as goodness because your heart was not pure, reached out, not because you loved her, because you also hated her and lust was the only way to go. So as you reached out to her, you couldn't believe at the coldness she came back with you at. Because if she ever was who she was to you, how could she act like that? She was never who you thought she was to you, and you were never what you thought you were to her. You need to save your soul as a man. Otherwise, no matter what you do in this life, that problem you have, the worst time of your life, and you said these lying words that came out of you. You said, now I'm good and content with women. And not one person, not any woman online, not any man here or online, registered you as truthful in that moment. Do you know that when you said rapidly, I'm fine now with one, and Arash Zepar said, you're perfect now, let's go in the past. Remember that moment? Do you know in that moment you registered to 100% of the people who were listening, not everybody listening, those who have the ears to hear, let them hear. Those who heard you, do you know 100% right now, I would put my entire bank account on it and say, they will say, you lied. Do you believe that or not? You're
Well, I
not
have to believe.
content. You're not, no, you don't have to believe anything. That's what the problem with believe is. That's why I'm asking if you believe it. Otherwise, I would just tell you, you saw the truth, right? But you and I right now at the level of belief, which is you don't know truth. So I have to ask you, do you believe it? And if you go, I don't believe it, then I'm going to show you the truth. If you say you believe it, then there's another question. So first, I have to ask you whether you believe it or not. Because I know God's real, but I have to ask you to believe in God, right? There's a difference. And right now, I'm asking you, when you said, I'm content with women, everybody thought you a liar. How do you feel when you know a man's lying to you? Do you respect him? Is he manly? No. Would you want anything to do with him? No. At that moment where you said these words, which were, I am good and content, at that moment, everyone knew that you are absolutely worthless as a man, especially the women. Even if they thought for a split second that you were attractive for any way, the moment you said that, you became a weak man and they despise you as much as your ex despises you. She hated you because you were weak and because you're not supposed to be. You're a man. You're supposed to be strong.
Yeah.
Do you believe, or do you know for sure, first of all, that you lied when you said that? Do you know you lied when you said you're content in doing good with women? Do you know that's a complete, utter lie?
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
Then who spoke for you?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's why you're suffering. Because you know, I know, but something spoke for you and misrepresented you to this world.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. And the only words that have freed this man is the words in this book. I'm telling you, come on. If you've known me this is a fact. Because until you can actually fully realize what I said was 100% on truth, because there was no argument, you knew and I knew it, and somehow I knew it. How? It's through this book, Jesus is the way, Holy Spirit. It's all here. I'm here. If you have, you pick it up, you call, text, and let's see. Let's see if it's revealed to you what's revealed to me, right? So the answer to whatever question you were going to ask is first the truth that now you've observed clearly, right? That you came at a moment you were then perceived by everybody as a liar because you lied. But then you have to ask yourself this question. Let me ask you a question for real. Are you a liar? Do you like being a liar?
No, I hate it.
You hate it. Do you know that what God says happens to liars? Where do they suffer? In hell. Do you know that he said the kingdom of heaven is within?
Yeah.
He never said where hell was, but he said a man with an impure heart can't get into heaven, right? And he said the kingdom of heaven is within. Now, we don't know where it is, but we don't need to know where it is. You know why? Because we were in it when he came. That's why he never told where hell was. Jesus said heaven is inside. He never said hell is. He came to hell. What he saw was so off of how a man would act. A man is a son of the Father with no woman in him. No woman in him. And this is what it looks like, feels like, moves like, breathes like, acts like. And it defeats women everywhere. This is an invincible man. Who remembers Arash Zepar Dibazar saying, I want to be invincible? I would say Maharishi uses the words invincibility, and he's right. And I know it's possible. I have said those words as Arash. I sit here invincible to women in every situation, my brother, right? So this is what you seek is real truth, because real truth is real power and everything else that a man is. Your soul has been taken by a woman, you're worshiping the woman, and you're ashamed of it. And then you lie like a woman, and she knows it too. She knows it too. So there's just a bunch of demons running around talking to each other, and that's why you're in hell, because he says clearly the liar is going to be in hell. Yeah, well, it's not a little, yeah, it's a big lie. Any lie is a big lie. Any lie is a big lie. Any lie is a big lie. There is no small or big lie. That's a lie. It's a lie that there's a big or small lie. It's just you're either going to make up something about the truth, which means you have an alter agenda or hiding something. It's either that or you don't do that. But a liar must not say what is. And then you have to ask yourself, what in this moment what about this moment is not right for that person lying when it's right for me? And then you find the evil that's sitting in your heart as a liar. And so you're never going to have a clean conscience. You're always going to guilt, that's hell, guilt, damnation, a burning fire. That's that feeling inside. Don't go burn your hand, right? You're in the fire every day. That's those emotions. Emotions are fire. See that? Sometimes the fire feels good. When it's cold, the fire feels good. You want to use it. Sometimes it burns. Sometimes there is no fire. You can't start a fire, but emotions are fire inside the body, not controlled by you. And they tell you to control it. This is how you build a fire, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like those Amazon fucking shows. Right when you know exactly how to build a perfect fire, and you have everything in monsoons rain. And you go, I just have my lighter and I just, what were you going to do? Create fire? You were going to create fire in the jungle? You stupid ass. You don't create fire. Yeah.
So what do I need to do? Because I'm reading the Bible every day. I'm almost finished it. I'm meditating every day. I'm doing everything I can. I'm legit eating one meal a day, same meal every single day. And I don't know what else I need to do. Like,
And
what
you're
do I
still
need
a liar. And you're still a liar and a woman. So I'm telling you what you need to do. Through this guy. I am here as a messenger of it. And I'm doing it. So your next step, that's why we're doing this. So every man can see and every woman can see that there's not one man out there that knows God. And if there is, he could challenge them all with goodness and defeat them. I haven't said one bad thing to any person yet, but when I've seen a demon, I rebuke a demon. There's a difference. Look up the word rebuke. Okay? You're being a bitch.
Yeah.
So you feel like a bitch all the time. So then now you have to work on your schedule and body and eat one meal a day and all that. Don't ever worry about when you eat and when you sleep. Don't ever worry about what you eat. Don't ever do that. Women should count calories, right? Make sure they don't get fat because they were created by God for you and I to want to have sex with them. The healthy ones look healthy in body, and the unhealthy ones look unhealthy in body. And the unhealthy ones should be treated like unhealthy ones. That's an unhealthy body. Their soul is all black. But let's just start with Eve should at least not overeat. Because that tells you she's full of lust. She can never love you. Any fat woman is full of lust. Any woman going to the gym and having a perfect body is as fat as that fat chick, and as anorexic as the anorexic, and as bulimic as the same devil in all disguises. All the women listening, they're having a realization. It's the same devil. When you no longer have any attachment to that body and what it looks like and what it eats, it'll start to get its natural form. Somebody created you. It wasn't you. So stop trying to create yourself again, because you never did it. Every creation has a purpose, especially one this intricately created to be able to speak like this and move like this and observe like this. I need to know what the purpose of this man is. So I need to shut the fuck up until I know. Now, since I didn't create me, I can't think about it because I can't. Have you ever planned something and it failed? There you go. You're old enough to know how many times your plans failed and everybody else's plans failed and all plans fail, right? Don't ever go in business with a man who has a business plan. I never have done that. Go with a man who what he does is his business, and that's it. He doesn't have a plan. He's been doing it. The more you start planning out activities like this, it fails. It becomes devil, right? So you're being a bitch, you're being a woman, but you're not that. That's the difference, right? And that's why when it comes out, it doesn't hurt you when I say it. It heals you, because I don't think you're that. I really don't. I know you're not that. You're seeking to free your soul from that. Right. We got the answer. Come test it. Okay? Who are you here? Who did you talk to?
Well, who do I talk to?
Yeah. Who set you up with this call?
Chris.
There you go. Christ himself. Yeah. Well, there you go. Then there it is. There's a proof. Fuck. I shouldn't even said anything. Go talk to Christ after this.
Yeah.
So go talk to Christ after. Okay, bro. I think, to go any further, I'll let you finish what you have to say. But this man's done talking about that subject. But I'm going to hear anything else you have to say. Go ahead.
Thank you, and I appreciate you for that. And also, yeah, when that time was happening to me, I had a dream of me in a church, and I saw you at the back of the church, and you're wearing a nice fancy hat, you're wearing a tuxedo, and Jesus was in front of me, and he put my hands on me, and he was like, "Let's pray." and then we did a prayer, and then I woke up, and then poof, it was like that.
Whoa.
When I was going through that time in September, when I lost everything.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I'll never forget that
Have you
dream.
been have you been wanting to tell that dream from the beginning of this?
From September, yes. When
No,
I had
when you
it.
called in right now, was that dream to say it the whole time? And now you got to say
Yeah,
it? Have you been wanting to
yeah,
say that the whole time you called?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Now your dream made sense as I'm in the back of the church. Christ has his hands on you. Chris, Christ between you and I.
yeah,
Just so you know. Just so you
yeah.
know, right now, I'm at the back of the church. You're in the front of the church. Christ is between us. He put his hand on you. I said, go back to Christ and talk to him after. I was just here so you know your friend knows Jesus. Your friend knows Christ. You're right. So now go back to where you saw it, and then I'll see you over here. Instead of in front of Christ, I'll see you over here. Right? So you could see what he sees clearly. Beautiful. Thank you, bro. That has to end this now. Excellent. Beautiful. Wow.
I'll leave.
Okay, let's pause a second. Let me see everybody. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Who's next?
Leave.
See what it does to demons and devils when you do that? Cleans the space. Silence cleans space. But you got to be silent inside. Then you hear the noise. You see, watch the emotion when it goes up. Go back. Now we can talk. Everybody catch that? That's for all the exorcists, the executioners. Okay? You're playing with the one who can turn their heads from their own father, who, if he exhaled, the planet would end.
You say it again?
You're talking to people who've been deceived by a deceiver to turn away from their father, who could, with a breath or a thought, end life. The deceiver that has deceived these people is so deceptive that they had them turn from their father, who has the ability to end life with a thought, because it's his thought. That's your father. You could have anything you want. Anything and everything you want. And just like your earthly father, if he was in representation, if it's wrong for you, you won't get it, no matter how much you pray. So if you get it, and it wasn't yours, dad didn't give it to you. And anybody who's ever had a dad knows you never beg your dad for anything. Did you know that? If you never had a father, let me tell you something. You beg your mom, you come back 5 hours later, then you cry, then you slam doors with your mom. Right? You act like her. Then you don't talk to her. Then you don't eat the food. Look at the bitch in you that has been there. Then you don't eat the food. Then you speak loud. Then you leave this. You are what she does to your dad. He deals with that.
Avoid everybody.
You avoid, she does that, right? Now, you know better than to do that with your father if you had a father. Go ahead and slam the door if you have a real dad. That door will open right after, and he'll be standing there. And the demon in you will shit its pants because that's a father just arrived.
Yes.
And said, this is out of order. You're my son. This is out of order. At that moment, a real father will go grab the wife. If the wife was with that son and that son misbehaved when he came home, it's time to handle wife right now. Do you see the truth of that? And the moment the father allows the son one tiny indiscretion, like son comes and sits down, hi dad. And dad looks and goes, oh, why is my son dark? But he avoids it because the woman would say, don't make it uncomfortable right now. We're eating. So he says, I'll do it later. It was a thought. Now he's thinking about his son and not the food. He forgot the father. When you eat food, you have to think of the father. He's thinking about his son. He's not present anymore. She says something because she's aware of the whole thing. So she checks with some little thing. Honey, would you like curry? He senses the evil but can't call it. No, I don't want any. Are you okay, honey? It's over. Now let's do it properly. He comes home. Son sits down to eat. Hi, Dad. What? I said, hi, Dad. He caught the demon. That's what a woman would do. Oh, no, I was just, you don't go unconscious unless you're unconscious. Your father didn't go unconscious today. Every time he did, he caught it. Did you catch that, son? Did you catch what happened? What happened? Nothing. What happened right before? What did you do to let darkness in? What happened, son? What happened right before you walked up? No, not, watch if you know. The son sinned. The moment you sin, you're in hell. Repent, confess now. Confess with your heart, not your words. Because then it moves out of your heart. Confess with your words, it stays in there. Everyone's confessing, Father, forgive me for I have sinned. Those are words. When one confesses a sin, one squirms, cries, pants, jumps, runs away, says, please don't tell anybody. If they knew, now, welcome to hell. If you hold that in your heart, you're in hell. And every man does, and this man doesn't. And you are being cleaned of it, and you can feel it. They have no idea what it feels like to have a little bit of a cleaner heart. This much less darkness in you, everybody's nodding. Look at Adrian nodding. What's it like? Adrian's in it better? Yeah. See, that's a man. They didn't get into the, well, you know, I want to say something. Yeah. 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 You're more man than any man online right now. And you're about to find out. Okay, here we go. Next.
Ali.
Prince Ali, mighty is he, Ali Ababa. Strong as 10 regular men, mighty is he. He beat the galloping hordes, 100 bad guys with swords. Na 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 na. Prince Ali, mighty is he, Ali Ababa. That little faggot had 3 wishes and he wished for Jasmine. Is that you? Is this Prince Ali? How funny that the devil makes that what you want to be. What a bitch. Aladdin, I can show you the world. Shine. Is that you? Is this Ali's story? Shining, shimmering, right? Do you trust me? Is that you? Do you trust me? Right? Tell her you love her. Go. And in the end, he finally gets what he wants. But then there's a sequel. And I haven't seen the sequel, but I bet you the bitch gets in trouble. I can't imagine he would have a sequel unless his girl was in danger. What the fuck is he going to do after that? He's married. He's got his wife. He's got all the power in the world. What happened to Jasmine in part 2? You know, look it up. And part 3 and part 10. So Ali, you know your story, because the greatest you could be would be that guy with a genie bottle, and you would end up like Aladdin. That's the mightiest you'll ever be, Prince Ali. So now let's talk.
How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well.
Quick question. Is it better for your screen, is it better if my screen is like this or this way?
This way.
This way? Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Just okay. Good to speak to you finally. I was taking notes based off your first conversation, I think with Johnny, I think it was.
Yeah.
I have like 3 quick questions that I want to ask based on what you said, and then I've got something personal that I want to ask from myself. But
whenever you're ready.
yeah, so I mean, the first one I want to say, do you believe you can separate God from religion? because I believe religion is a man-made thing, man-made constructs, you know?
Okay, so are you asking me, do I believe that you could separate God from religion?
Yeah, because I believe in God.
There's an answer. There's an answer. There's an exact answer that should ring 100% true and willing to be argued with. Okay? Any separation from God is the devil. Yes, you can, and that's why you suffer, because everything is God. So you can do it, and the fact that you're asking it, your soul is taken, because a man of God would never want to know if God and religion are separate, because God there was the word in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Religion is a description of God, and so is flower, and so is arm and leg, so is the word me and I and you and him and her, love thy neighbor as yourself, forgive everyone, because there's one creator. So you can separate it, and that is why you suffer, because when you see God everywhere, then you're home.
Can I expand on that and give a
Yeah,
example?
let me tell you, what's your perspective on that? Does that make sense, or does it sound like I'm babbling on?
No, it makes sense, but I'm not denying God. I want to give an example. If you take this pen, let me just make sure you can see the background. If
Sign.
this tip is the present moment,
Mm-hmm.
and the length of this pen has been the last 100,000 years, let's just say, right?
Uh-huh.
The oldest religion, I believe it's said to be 5,000 years ago, which is Islam, Buddhism, I'm not sure. That would just be the tip of here. So all of this existence, I believe in God, as I said, I want to reiterate, I believe in God, but I believe that religion is a man-made construct which has just been created at the tip of this timeline. So what about the rest of the timeline
Okay.
in
So
terms of religion?
yeah, the answers are going to be very profound, because truth is profound. First, remember that pen? Can you show me where present time is?
At the tip here.
Okay, now show me where the past is. Where's the past?
Well, it'll be the length of the pen, but technically, I've heard the term the power of now, and that the now is all we have. So technically, there is no past, but in this example, it'll be the length of this pen.
So is it technically there is no past, or truthfully there is no past, and technically we can talk about it? Which one is the proper syntax, order of words? Is it that technically there is no past, or is the truth that the past doesn't exist and technically we can talk about the past? Which one are you claiming first before we go forward? It makes a total difference in the question and the answer.
Yeah, truthfully, there is no past, and we can technically talk about it.
Okay, so now let's ask the question again and start like this. Say this: the past is a lie and fabricated, because the present time is all there is. Knowing that the past is a lie and fabricated, can I ask you a question about a lie? And what do you think about that lie? And I would say the past is a lie. So that's that. And that dissolves the question, which would be a true answer. Because if I answered and you had another question, it wouldn't be the answer. The answer should resolve the equation. The equation was resolved when you said, this is present time, this is the past. And I said, where's present time? I didn't tell you. It was revealed to you. You said, well. And then the devil, because your soul is taken by him, that's why you're suffering. You said, well, actually, power of now. And then you said, technically incorrect. Again, the devil was in you. No, then we fixed it. Then you said, truthfully, there's no past. Technically, we can talk about it. Would you like to sit here for the next? We can. I will do what you say, because all is revealed as it should. But here's a question we should deal with, because you're dealing with a man who knows that there is no past and future. That's why he doesn't make plans or think about the past. I know that. It sounds like you know that, right? So we have about, let's say, 5-10 minutes or an hour together. Would you like to take the precious time that God gave us to talk about truth that exists, or talk about the fabricated thing that you and I know doesn't exist? Which one would you like to do? I'll do either.
Well, of course, the truth.
Well, then, do you still have that question?
Well, my initial question was, what do you think of separating God from religion?
And the answer I said was that, however, the question never registered. So the answer of the question in present time, Richard, the answer, what do I think of separating God from religion, is that when you know there's a God and you don't believe in him, then you know that God will be the creator and he created everything. Because even if man created that spaceship, where did he get the material from? Who created the material for the spaceship? Where did that come from? What about the oxygen he breathes? Because two particles hit each other. If you have any scientific brain, you would know that it's impossible to create that math. That out of nothingness, something appeared. That is an incorrect syntax. Nothing can't give birth to something. How could nothing be something? Well, something happened. Well, then just say God. And you and I can agree. Until you could tell me how from nothing came something, then this one thing out of nothing somehow collided by itself. They never tell you that. It imploded. Why? It was its nature. Who gave it its nature? It came out of nothing. Damn, this sounds like some spooky shit. You call that science? And then what happened? Then they collided, and then they started to create forms that somehow became conscious. Now, something unconscious can never become conscious. If you could, for the rest of eternity, bang two tables together. You'll never come back and one goes, ouch. It will never happen because consciousness is a thing and it's that. It's not an object. So somehow these particles that was one, that somehow became one and had the nature of either exploding, which we don't know how it could do that, or it collided with another particle. So let's say two particles arrived because then they collided. After they collided, it didn't just go like when you and I take two marbles and collided right now, or take two humans and collided, or two cars, or two birds, or two anything that observed the collision. These fuckers collided and then made perfect order to survive. And then they became conscious. Now there's just one life form, by the way. If there's two, where did that one come from? What did that collide with? Or it collided and suddenly all the particles were conscious. That means they already have consciousness. We're getting closer to God. Where did the consciousness come from? Oh, bogus, right? And since your mind has been taken by the devil because you started with, I took notes, as you said with Johnny, I have 1,000 questions that I'm about to ask you. And I said, I'm ready to answer it. Useless words. You're suffering, Prince Ali, because you're filled with useless words and absolutely zero certainty of anything. You know nothing. So you're being a woman. Now, there's some women online, Prince Ali. You're a good-looking man. Are you tall? Are you 5'9", 5'10"? What are you?
5'8".
5'8". You're taller than this guy. Everyone's taller than this guy. Everyone's taller than that guy. This guy's taller than that guy. Forget about it. There's a brother I have here that I make fun of him every day about his shortness. Not one time does he get offended. You get that? I say, come sit on our lap in the limo.
Do you do that?
He's laughing right here in front of all brothers and women.
Do you do that to test him?
I don't do anything. That's just what happens. But I'm just letting you know that he has never taken offense. And even right now, he laughs with it. There he is, tiny. His feet don't touch the floor. Hey, there you go. Okay, Ali. How would you like to be that free of your identity that man just demonstrated to you? What do you think about that? Could you take that? Could you take that? It was uncomfortable when I called you a girl. Remember? It was uncomfortable when I called you a girl. That man's a bitch, bro.
Since you say that, I think I'd avoid, not avoid. I'll not ask the questions that I noted down and speak about my own personal thing. But because it's girl related, I feel kind of silly saying it.
You're a woman. Congratulations. Good laugh. That's right. You should laugh at that bullshit. You're being a woman. That's why you're suffering. You don't have any problems as a man. Here I sit. And there's one of my brothers, one of my students and apostles. Look, he's much more free than you are. Right? I could tell that guy in front of a dirty little rat and he won't take offense. And he was a dirty little rat. But he'll laugh at it and say, yeah, it was a dirty little rat. That's
Well,
freedom.
I think people only take offense when there's a element of truth to it, right?
They take offense when they are liars. You don't take offense to the truth. Truth should set you free. And that's what Satan says. Oh, don't want to know the truth. Yes, they do. You don't want to know the truth. You don't want to know the truth. Every man wants to know the truth. Every man wants to know, is she cheating? Every man wants to know, is that my son or daughter? Every man wants to know, is that brother trusted? What do you mean I don't want to know the truth? The only thing I want is the truth.
It's funny you say that because the my situation that I want to share with you,
Yes.
you just mentioned. You said every man wants to know that she's cheating, and
She is.
so may I give a brief breakdown?
Yeah, we have clock time until 12. That's 30 minutes. I'm just saying we can go that long if it needs to go. So you have time. If not, we end it. We'll know. But we have at 12, I will end this. Okay, go ahead.
Is that 30 minutes? I'm in the UK.
Yeah, just keep
Okay.
talking. At some point in 30 minutes, if you're still talking, I'll cut you off, but it probably won't be that. But let's just see.
All right. So I've been with my girl for 2 years, and we recently had a very rough patch because, I found out that at the end of the first year, I was wanting to be promiscuous, and I told her that from the start.
Just like her.
Apparently so.
Just like her. She's promiscuous. That's why they said men are promiscuous, because men are being women. She's promiscuous. I'm not promiscuous. I'm righteous. I have a righteous. If you want my dick, then not you, bro, but you're a girl right now, so I gotta be careful. I gotta watch what I say. A lot of ladies online. Suppress lust. Okay, all right. Anyways, go on.
Yeah. So she didn't have a good upbringing. Okay. She
what?
didn't have a good upbringing,
Oh,
and I treated her well, and so
wow.
she wanted me just for her, and because I
No
told
way.
you that. Pardon?
No way. Are you serious?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's common, right? But
Then why are you
at the
saying
end,
it? Of course, get on with it. She's a woman. She wants that. We know that. This, if anyone knows that, this fucker knows that. Go ahead.
yeah, and so at the end of that first year, I found out that she was so stressed that I made her I put her in such a stressed situation that to the point where she went back to an old fuck buddy of hers. She says she didn't sleep with him, but she went over to his to get some reassurance about like how tough the situationship is, how tough our situation is, and then about 6 months later, let's say, she found messages in my phone.
Wow.
Speaking to other women.
You dirty
and
bitch.
we broke up, and in that like month.
What did she say? What did she say? I can't believe you have messages when she went back to her ex but didn't fuck him. Is that what you're saying? And she broke up with you when you had a message?
I only found this out recently, right?
Yes, but you could have just called AZD. He would have said she's cheating on you. You're being a girl. Let it go. So now it's done. And now what's the problem now when that cheating, lying son of a bitch who was just like you left? Now what? Now what are we doing about it?
So basically, long story short, when we broke up 6 months after that period, she went back to him again, and then she did sleep with him. Because again, like, now, and she didn't, and we got back together after that month, but she didn't tell me that she did what she did.
Right.
And I only found this out like last month, okay?
She hates you. She hates your guts. She hates you. That's why she treats you like that. Did you notice she hated you the whole time? And you're trying to make her like you, even though she's with you for 2 years, you're trying to make her like you? Did you notice you never stopped trying to get affection, love, admiration, respect, obedience from that bitch? Did you notice for 2 years you had anxiety when you were living with her, we should be at peace in your home? Did you notice that? Did you notice all your thoughts all day at work, everywhere, was about whether she's okay, if she needs something, and that's her? What did you notice that? Or was what I'm saying completely a lie right now? Or did you have every thought that I said right now?
Well, the things that you said sounded like caring about the person. And yes, I'm a caring person. That's not a bad thing to be, is it?
That's Satan. That was terrible because you don't care for her. You're just like her. You remember how she treated you? You're exactly like her because you lusted for her. I know that. You know that. That's why you're being a girl. I'm trying to show you you're in hell, bro. Right? It's never going to get better. It's going to keep getting worse. And the thing is, all the women right now, listen, bro, honestly, hey, to say words like honesty and things like that, just want you guys to know, every time I do it, I feel the violation inside me. But I'm telling all the ministers, you have to be free of words, but you can't go unconscious when you say it. I'm aware of that word. Every time it pops out, it's like a foul stench in my mouth. Honestly, what happened to the screen? You got rid of it?
Yeah. I was trying to.
No, 1 second.
1 second, Ali. Prince Ali.
Can you hear me?
We're back.
Sammy's ready.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Sammy, you ready to go? I can see it. So Ali, I want to tell you something, okay? And again, because you're a man of science, you might want to measure this. Okay? Don't take my word. Don't believe it. Man of science believes nothing. So I have a scientific theory that I would like to test. My scientific theory is, I know some of those women in line, some I don't know, but I'm willing to bet that if I ask them, first, let me say what I was going to say when I said honestly. Honestly, if Arash Dibazar could look like you than him, he'd be better looking. If I had that physical body and I wanted to look good, I'd be so fucking handsome, I'd kill these hoes. Okay? But I would be just like those hoes. Right? So just so you know that, you're much better looking than Arash Dibazar as a human being. Okay? Now my girlfriend's like, no, you're fake. No, it's not. I know what girls like. If I had your body versus this body, okay, I would make them fucking shit their pants when I walk by. Right? So your physical body is that. Now, did you know at the same time that, now this is my scientific theory. I have a theory right now. And it's that if I ask any woman online, you could pick them, I could pick them. They will all say that they have zero attraction for you after you spoke because you to them are just like a girl. Did you know that? Even when you said this, I cared for her. Those are good things. You became more of a woman by saying that because that's what a woman says. Would you believe my scientific theory or would you like to measure it yourself until you get it?
Well, to that, I would ask you, do you care for the women in your life?
Yes. Truly love them.
So
Truly
does
love
that
them. Ready for this? Are you ready for this? You're not going to believe this. The same way I love you. Now, you won't believe that, but some people here measured it, and that's why there's witnesses. So that's the truth of what I said. I love them the way I love you. Absolutely, for sure. I won't have sex with you because that would be foul. But the love, it's true love of the Father. Yes, I have for them and you and for the fucking demons that have been sitting around me for weeks now. And now everybody see it. I have to demonstrate that. This person, when I say I, has to demonstrate that. Otherwise, this is all bullshit, bro. So do I care for them? Yes, but that is not the scientific theory that we're testing. You could test mine right after. You could throw any theory out. We could test them about me. You could say, I think this about you and whatever. Anything I say can be reversed here, okay? Because it is reversed the moment I say it. You never speak to somebody else without it hitting you, ever. That's why you never want to curse. And a curse is not a word, right? You fucking bitch. It's not a curse. If it comes from a clean heart. I love you is a curse from the wrong heart. See that? So it's not the words, it's the essence of the word, because in the beginning was the word was with God, and the word was God. So it has essence. That's why I know when it's true. Because there's the essence of God. We know God's real. Everything is fake. Everything is fake. Now, having said all that, you could ask me anything, okay? So first, we're going to test this theory. Or you say, I see exactly what you're saying, and no woman online considers me a man right now. And they think, you know, they're going to be nice. If they're going to be nice, they're going to say you're girly. If they're going to be honest, they would say that you're disgusting, weak, and a bitch. Those would be the words that they would use. That's my guess. I don't know all these women. I'm willing for you to pick them, but I'm going to tell you 100% will say that. What do you think about my theory? Would you like to test it?
Yeah. Could you? What's your theory? Can you give me your theory?
Yes, that you are being a woman and no woman online finds you as a man right now. And the more that you explain, why you're a man or why you cared about your ex. The more you speak, every sentence you speak shows what a bitch you are to them. They hate you. That's my theory. It's a very heavy theory. I would have no way of knowing this unless I knew a truth or I'm a fucking liar or I'm evil. All those are possibilities when a man doesn't know God. When he knows God, those don't exist as possibilities in my world. That's why I can sit here and say, that's what I say. So we don't know. We don't know. What do you think? You want to test it? Why can't you just test it? If it's not true, say, hey, let's go, jump off the roof. And if you fucking splatter, then there's no gravity or there's gravity. There are scientists. I'm telling you that you're about to splatter, even though you have all these engines you built to be a man. Your airplane, your kite, your spaceship, your fucking planet, moon that you fly in the middle of it, makes no difference. It's built on lies. And if you saw it, you're in a simulated reality, matrix, illusion, delusion, deceit. And what is actually taking place is totally the opposite of what you're experiencing in reality. That's why it's called hell, because you can't see it. But if you see that every effort you've spent right now to build an engine to get off the ground, you have fear of jumping off right now of that. You know, you'll do it, right? Because the pride and the woman in you wants to see it. And the man in you knows I'm right. The man in you is scared. The woman in you says, just whatever, we'll figure it out. Let's see. Not everyone. Good. All those voices in your head are heard here. So now let's go full screen. Isn't that amazing, Ali? There's a God, bro. Okay, here we go, ladies. The ones with the female bodies. AZD Angel 3, are you listening?
Yes, I'm listening.
All right. What do you say about what I say in short, concise, truthful manner?
He's being very weak and very girly.
And a weak girly, if you weren't going to be nice, right? And you were drunk like a bitch and your boyfriend had cheated on you because it wasn't me and all that other shit and you fucking hated men and you saw that man, what would the depth of your heart, what word would it use? The truth. Weak and girly means what to you as a man? What?
He's being a bitch.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's see. Rosie's new. I'm not going to call on you unless you want to speak, Rosie, because I knew you were a guest of somebody. And, you know, if you do want to say something, Rosie, about this or no?
Yes, but I'm at work. Really quick. So, the more he spoke, the weaker he appeared to me. And
Before we spoke,
that's
thank
so
you, Rosie. Rosie and I, have we ever
and
spoken?
it
Do we
was
know each
just
other?
never,
Rosie,
never.
never. You're brand new to this, Rosie.
Yeah.
I'm a tattoo artist.
I followed you for a while, but I've never spoke to you and
Okay,
I've
so
seen
Rosie,
you on
I don't
Facebook.
know you. That's all I'm saying. We've never had any
No, you
dialogue.
don't. Never, ever.
Rosie,
I'm in
you
LA.
said the moment he came on, what happened? Slow this down and loud. What happened the moment he spoke? What did you measure as a
So
one?
the more he spoke, he just became weaker, and less attractive because it was so confusing and he was just losing his manhood. I think he was confused. Yeah, it was just confusing and less attractive, in my opinion.
Did you think if you weren't being polite and you were Donald Trump grabbing a girl's pussy? Trump 2024.
Yes,
if you were going to use that language that men use to describe it, what would you say? Now describe that language because men here, we want to hear what you're saying. We want to know the truth. We can't hear lies. He's a what?
Work.
He's a what? Give me the
I
curse word.
already typed it. No.
You don't want to say the word? The bad word?
He's getting it.
Is he a bitch?
Yes.
Is he a pussy?
I guess, yes.
No.
You'll work on it though, right? No, yes.
What?
At this point, yes.
At this point is all we have. We told you there's present time. Don't talk to that man about the truth.
At this point,
yes, Ali, your turn. Thank you, Rosie. Go ahead, Ali. Put him on.
If you can you hear me?
Yes.
If
girls
you found out
yet, girls don't speak in church unless spoken to. So don't say anything. I'll hear his question. I'll either answer or I'll have one of you answer. Girls, don't speak here until you're spoken to. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to ask you if one of your girls, if your woman admitted to you that she slept with another man
Yes.
last week,
No.
what would you
No.
do? What's your
That hasn't been admitted to this man. Do you know of one of my girlfriends who's a current girlfriend of mine that I wouldn't know is sleeping because one of my girlfriends is a porn star? Outside of that, do you know of one? Because you should say it. Do you know one?
Sorry,
I'm
what
asking,
was the
do you know if one of my girlfriends slept with somebody that I don't know last week? Is that what you're saying? Do you know of one?
Yeah.
Do you know her name?
No, I'm giving a hypothetical.
No, it doesn't happen here. No, I don't know. I don't know any of my girlfriends slept with anybody because none of them did. Now, if they did, I wouldn't be surprised, but they didn't. That's the answer to your question. So I just answered.
The question is, what would you do? Would you still keep it in your life?
I've been cheated on more than you'll ever be cheated on. How many times have you been cheated on?
I don't know.
I know. The ones I counted is about 15. The one I stopped counting was 15. This man's been cheated on 15 times with girls' tattoos of his name all over his body. No girl's going to tattoo your name, bro. They'll tattoo my name before they tattoo your name, even though they're your girlfriends. But right now, we're diverting. We had this scientific experiment, and you stopped it on 2. We can keep going until you see it'll mix the same thing. In the end, you're a bitch. And you're coming across as one. And the more you talk, the more you become. Right now, you spoke. Remember what Rosie said? You just got weaker and more despicable to them. And they hate you. And if that's true of them, it's also true of the girl that you were supposedly with. She hated your guts because they saw the moment you spoke. And you spoke to her for 2 years around her. Fucking, bro, at some point, she would murder you if she could. And you don't believe it. But she's capable of doing that, right? We're still on the experiment. Do you want to keep going, or do you have questions about the experiment that's not valid so far?
I have a question about yourself as well, but I don't know what's the experiment.
The experiment is my scientific theory was every woman thinks you're a bitch right now. And that means every woman you ever have known and will know at your best right now thinks you're a bitch. That's the experiment. So far, it's been proven 100% correct. It's a scientific theory because you're a scientist.
That's fine.
Is that fine?
Yes, because doesn't mean I'm going to stay that way. Doesn't mean that it's true. Well, first of all, just because someone has an opinion of me doesn't mean that it's true.
Okay. Now check this out. All those women and all women have that opinion of you. Now what? Does it matter to you if all women that you ever come across think you're a bitch and a whore and a pussy and a coward and you can't even tell the truth or see it when it's in front of you? If all women thought that and all women held their opinion, that's their opinion, and if all in unison thought of that of you, would you be like, okay, they could think that? Would that affect you or wouldn't affect you?
Well, yeah, if it would affect me, but that's not the case.
In present time, all women who are watching you think that. So now is it affecting you or not? Because that's actually true, what I just said. You said it would affect you, but it didn't affect you. So you either don't see the truth or you're lying again. And since you're a girl, I expect you to be lying because when you confess, we'll know. Or you leave with your hell here.
It doesn't affect me because I
You
think
said
it's very...
You said it would if all women had that opinion.
No, I know.
They all have that opinion, brother. Now what? How is it affecting you? Go ahead.
The reason it doesn't affect me is because I think it's very normal to react in a negative way when you find out that your relationship with a woman has been compromised. I think that's a normal response.
That's not what they said. They said you're a bitch, a coward, a liar, and a pussy. They didn't say anything about that. That is what's being said.
But the reason they said that was because I told my story, and my story was I was with a woman. And
was it a true story, or did you fabricate it?
No, it's true.
So what's wrong? Truthfully, you were a bitch, and you still are. Why can't you see it? You say I told my story, and they thought I was a bitch. Yes, you are that story because you brought it up. You're still in it. You're still a bitch. You're not over the story. You remember that story, and you realize that if you said it, you'd be a bitch? You're saying the story right now in present time because you're still in the story and you're never going to get out of it. It's an illusion. You've been in that story before her. You're going to be in that story after her. Do you know why? The truth is in your face. Because you're being a woman, your soul is possessed. This is the book, the Bible. You need to free yourself of the flesh. You're a flesh-worshiping demon that's controlling a man inside. That's who you are. You're squirming and can't answer one question, and your true colors are shown. Now, the only way you, Ali, the real one, are going to be free is when you see that. What's that like, knowing that? Rebuke. But we know emotionally. What is it like knowing that? Brother, your soul is possessed. You're worshiping a false God. There is a God. You're being evil, and evil suffers, and you're suffering. And that's why they know you're a girl, because you started with suffering. And even keep watching. Tomorrow, I'm here every day. Watch the men that are succeeding. They're a bigger bitch than you are. They're not just a bitch, they're prostitutes. You're not a prostitute yet, you're almost there. You're an undercover prostitute. Some men will freely prostitute and look like prostitutes with their money. Like, have you seen a prostitute out there? You know what she looks like. If you're in Vegas, you know what a prostitute is. She's hot, nice car, dresses good, always nails done, hair done, always knows that she is dangerous, right? And men at that level are dangerous. We saw one last night. I told these guys it comes up now. They're demons too, just like you are. But you're really not. You're a good guy. That's why you're listening. That squirming is not you inside you. That guilt is not you. Guilt is of the devil, of hell, of evil. You only have that when you sin. Sin is a lie. You have clearly showed you're a liar. Why should you not be suffering if you're a liar? And if there's a God, I need somebody to logically tell me why, if there's a God and he has a son, why his lying son should not suffer like a bitch. Because if there was a just and merciful God, this is exactly what would happen. And that's the truth, my brother. Now, if you want to free yourself of it, this man is free of it. These men here are free of whatever the fuck you got going on, because they can see it clearly and they don't get triggered by it. That's how you know when you're free of it. And there's an answer here, bro. And it's not Arash Dibazar. It has never been here as that answer. It's Jesus. It's the book. And until then, good luck, because you're in hell. And I want you to know, now you're visible, demon. So live with that demon in you forever, walking around, finding techniques or growing your beard. Why don't you do more testosterone or grow a dick or something? But your essence is a woman, because your heart is a bitch. And that's why you suffer like a bitch. You're suffering like a bitch emotionally. And you can't hide it. We had a guy yesterday, he's gonna be a Nate. What the fuck is gonna be? He's gonna be the highest special forces on the fucking planet and the toughest fucking country in the world, probably. The biggest bitch you've ever seen. And when the girl said he was a bitch, you should have seen him. My God, he was weaker than you. You took it better than he did. But right now, you see that tension, trying to control that emotion in you? That's the demon. Right? You're not still inside. You're still on the outside, but your insides right now are a storm. That's a demon. Being controlling the demon. Good luck. Because when this call ends, nobody will carry it but you. That's how you know it's your demon.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody here will suffer but you. And now you face the truth. So if you don't want to suffer, you got to get rid of that demon and stop making it speak for you. You're not a liar, bro. You're Prince Ali. Come on, man.
You know, Arash, before we go off the call, I've been really curious to ask you this, and you could say it's a personal question.
It is. Go ask you want. Ask me the most personal question, please, and I will answer you 100% truthfully. Go ahead.
Why all the tattoos? And the reason I ask is because I saw a psychologist say that generally, not always, but generally speaking, when someone has a lot of tattoos, especially if it's like on the face, there's a correlation to like a lot of anxiety, but you don't seem like you have a lot of anxiety. So why did you get so many tattoos, and where you got them from, you know?
I had a lot of anxiety. I haven't got any tattoos since I was reborn. Ask me again the next time I get a tattoo.
Sorry, say that again?
I had a lot of tattoos as Arash Dibazar, and being reborn of the spirit, I don't have one yet, and the desire hasn't come up. If I do get a tattoo, ask me why I got it. But you said the psychologist said that? Okay. Arash Dibazar had a lot of anxiety. It's not true. That's not why, but it all becomes anxiety when you don't know God. So it's true. But that psychologist is more devil than you. So whatever. Yeah, okay, yeah. Because you know why there's so much tattoos? I was wrecked with anxiety, and I wanted freedom of my soul, but I was more dedicated than you were to finding it. So every ounce of Arash Dibazar's, every breath of his was made to overcome the woman. Right? So he had full of anxiety, a lot of tattoos. You're right. Guess what? I'm free of that guy. And it could be anxiety, it could not be anxiety. It makes no difference at all. You remember that present time, past time? You're still in it? That's a woman. How many times did your girlfriend bring up the past when you were fighting? Or her past, or her childhood like you did? I thought the past is a lie. If it's a lie, why are you bringing it up? If it's true, then let's go live in it.
Yeah, to be fair, she actually doesn't. It's typically me that has a hard time getting over the fact.
That she
And again, I
controls.
know
She's the man.
fully,
Next time, give her a dildo and have her fuck you in the butt.
no, I'm
She's
fully,
being sodomized because you're acting like the people from Sodom and Gomorrah. You're one of
fully
those
aware.
members.
I'm fully aware that that's a bitch move, but I don't know where
it. But you're still doing it.
I don't know where.
If you're in conflict, you're split. Remember what you asked me? Religion splitting from God. You're the religion you don't like, and there's a God. Exactly that. Exactly what you started with is your answer. You said, do you think religion splits from God? I said, if it does, then it's the devil. You're split inside on that. You know it's a bitch, but you do it. You're split inside. You're in hell.
So how do I overcome this?
Ah, good question. Whoever contacted you, he knows the next step because he's trained for sure. Who contacted you?
Sultan.
Sultan, who kind of looks like you actually, right? And much better looking than you, much taller and more handsome, better muscles, fucks way hotter girls than you. That guy, he is free of that piece that he contacted you on. And that's why he contacted you on.
You talk about me? Out of register to talk about me.
You're dead, bro. This is why I was reborn. What I would like from you as soon as possible, Isaiah. Remember the what's the word? When people accept Christ, what's that called? Come on, man. You dip in the water, you come out baptized.
Baptized. Yeah.
What is it when you're born of the Spirit? He's gonna dip you in water, and now I'm gonna fucking baptize you in fire or spirit. Remember that?
Yeah, you'll be baptized by the Holy Spirit.
Okay, so did we witness that last night or not?
Yeah.
Yes or no, Zay?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay. You remember him?
Yeah.
His testimony, Christ, right?
Yeah.
Good. I want a video of just them and their testimonies. That's what the churches are trying to do.
Arash, why Christianity?
What?
Why Christianity out of all the religions?
Because it's the way, and I'm showing you. I've tried it all. Don't ask me. I wouldn't have picked it. That's more testament that it's true. I wouldn't have picked it. Arash, remember that tattoo guy? He wouldn't have picked this. The last guy would be Jesus in fucking sandals looking gay. He's more alpha than any alpha I know, because this is why I'm free. This is why I'm doing this. Why do you think I'm doing this? Because I want your money? Sounds funny, right?
Yeah.
It is funny. Only women do stuff for money. And they always come on in male bodies and go, I'm making a lot more money now. I got a career. I've been working on this thing. Okay, bitch. What else you got going on? Got a new house, got a new girlfriend. Okay, bitch. What else you got going on? All right. What's really going on with you? How are you? Things are good. Got a new career, new goal. I'm moving out. I've been working out. I've been eating good. I've been doing this. Okay, bitch. How are you now, sir? How are you, sir? I didn't ask about your fucking, what you could compare with another woman with. There's another woman online. He has more than you. Do you want to do that? Because it looks like you're doing good until you see somebody doing better. And that's what women do. That's why souls are never satisfied. That's why you have to be a man, because she's suffering from what you're suffering from all the time. She gave it to you, starting with your mother. Now you free yourself of her. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to go through hell. Today, I just wanted you to get a glimpse of the hell you're actually in. And this is what's crazy. That's how everybody talks about you behind your back. What was said in front of you today is said behind the back. What's done in the dark will be brought to the light. What's done in the dark will be, sooner or later, he's going to cut you down. Sooner or later, God's going to cut you down. Tell that long-tongued liar. Tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler and the gambler and the backbiter. That's someone who speaks behind your back. That God's going to cut him down. Tell him that God's going to come down. He spoke to me and he said, Arash, go do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler and the gambler and the backbiter that God's going to cut you down, that I am going to cut you down, demon. Your demon has been seen now by you, Ali. Go live with it for a while. And when you're ready to be free of it, come back and find Jesus. That's the truth. Because he is the truth and the way. And that's why it was answered. That was an answer to your question. All your questions were fully answered by the New Testament. Fully answered. Because the no more question.
Have you ever done psychedelics?
What?
Have you ever done psychedelics?
Yes.
Do you recommend?
Have you?
No.
No. I recommend Jesus. I didn't recommend it. I recommended the book. But I've done psychedelics. I can do psychedelics. I can not do them. I could stroke a man's cock and it would be okay. Because I wouldn't have lust over it. But you couldn't do it. Careful, you'd be gay. That's a good one, right? Hey, Ali. It's time to go.
It's been a pleasure.
Hey, pleasure, man. Good seeing you. Hey, you're a great man. Just make sure you see that demon fucking you up. It's Mr.
Remind me one
okay?
day. Thank you.
Yeah,
remind me one day.
Yeah, maybe one day, for sure. See you. Okay.
Take care.
Let's log off everything real fast.